Now you get it? Come here. Come here. Puppies. 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 What's up, everybody? It's Rob from Bullies. I know it's been a minute since I dropped the video and actually did a sit down. Been busy. Cold came back. It was beautiful for a good 2 days. We're in like the 50s and one day even in the 60s, and that's beautiful for the winter time for us up here in Indiana. Yeah, up north. But with that being said, the topic of the video, since I've having puppies and I talked about the breeding last video between Octavia and Mac, I wanted to kind of go off of when is it the right time to breed and have a successful litter and a large litter, and when it's too early and when it's too late, and your options of breeding. So when it comes to the American Bully, natural breedings don't take place normally at all. Back in the day, maybe that was something, but once they got more bullier and bigger and shorter, it's hard for them to do a natural tie. It just doesn't happen. Plus, for health reasons on the female and the male, and hurting, anything that can happen from being successful. It's just, AI is 10 times better. So with an AI, when is the right time to AI? Because that's your number one base of what you can do as a breeding. To your first step of your choice and option of when I'm saying what's your choices and options. So you typically, off the first day of blood, you want to observe and keep track, and some females are hard to track. Some females clean it up. Some females don't bleed much. Some keep it a lighter color than a darker color. It really all depends on what female you have. Sorry, I'm slurping coffee. It's hot. But from there, first day of blood, you want to mark that on your calendar and your date, and keep track. And if you have several females, you have to put the name of first day of blood, and it's good to have on track and record for the next previous time, because like I said, every female's different. So you go off typically first day of blood. I'm not going to go too deep into numbers here of progesterone tests. Everyone has their own opinions, their own thoughts, their own ways of doing things, and that's fine. If it works for you, keep doing it, keep rocking it the way you do. How I do it here at Bullies is it depends if I'm going off old school method without a PG and progesterone test, and that really is the only way I can do that is if I have using my own stud in my own yard, or the stud's close enough, it's on hand, I can get a collection anytime I need. But I'm not going to go too deep into that without a PG. This is with a PG on your options. So basically, if you're using an outside stud, or if you're getting it shipped or whatnot, on your scenario of how you're doing it. So you want to count down your days on first day of blood. So, and I'm going to try not to get tied up on my old school method without a PG test, because yes, I breed without PG testing on my personal studs, and I can have it on hand whenever I want. I can basically bang out 3 to 4 AIs whenever my time framing is. I have an old video, I think, of me doing it without a PG. If you want to check it out, subscribe, start following, and look down through my old videos. I have quite a bit on here now. So with that, you want to typically wait until about day 5, I would recommend. And not saying the number is going to be high, but at least you got a baseline. You got a baseline of where your female's at on progesterone levels. And it can get costly because you have to pay for each test if you don't have your own machine. So you got to find also a vet who has a machine in their office and on hand, because if they do I do a PG test machine and they send it off to a lab, you're going to be days off. Your numbers aren't going to be accurate. It's not going to be 100%. And you're going to be all whacked out, and you probably won't have a successful litter on your breedings. It will throw everything off. So make sure the machine's on hand. You get the reading that day, and make sure that that's a must. And that they ask when they calibrate. You want to also, that's also important, how often do they calibrate their machine? And ask if, they say it's been a while, ask them if they can calibrate it before they run your test. I don't know if they'll be, happy to do it for you, or what type of person they are. I don't know, but that's just something to ask, and if they're cool with you, they'll do it. If they try to make it seem like it's a pain in the ass and all that, then you either got to bite the bullet and run the test, or try to find someone else. So that's another thing. So day 5, you want to run your first test. You want to see what your number is at. And then you have to think, if the number, which more than likely it won't be, it might be like at a 1 or a low number. So you technically want to test at day 5 and day 7. Typically, you can try to just go for day 7. That falls on you, but it's nice to see where it's at, because each female is different and it can spike very rapidly and quick. So say day 5's at a 1. Typically, you'd go back on day 7, and if her number is a 5, she started ovulating. That's starting ovulation at a number 5 on an IDEX PG machine. Is number 5 is ovulation. After that, you want to typically wait 2 days after number 5 pops on the machine. You want to wait 2 days to start your AI breedings. If you have a dog on hand, typically you would do an AI, maybe 2, skip 1, do 1 more, so on and so forth. If you really want to be accurate and on point, after you hit a 5, wait 2 days, go back and do another PG test machine. Like I said, I know you're going to have to pay for it. It sucks. But if you want successful big litters, you're going to want to hit your numbers just right. And with your options, because you got other options now besides AIs I'm going to speak about. So typically, if you hit a 5, wait 2 days, go back, do another test if you want to be 100% accurate and you don't mind spending the extra money. The way I like to do it is when I hit a 15, I know I'm hitting my AI at perfect timing. If I did one prior before that, I'm good. I didn't hurt nothing. But at a 15 is kind of where I would definitely want to do my AI. 15 is my, AI choice. So from, like I said, if you're doing multiple AIs, you could probably start it at a 10. A number 10, start doing your first, because it would typically take a day, 2 days for the semen to get where it needs to be. So I would start my AI process at a number 10, and a golden number of hitting is a 15. If you want, so you can do several AIs between her number tests at a 10 to 15. You can do several AIs. Your success rate is going to be higher on a pregnancy and having puppies. So if you go back and on now, let's say you didn't go back and you didn't get tested with that time frame, and you didn't hit a number 10 to 15 for an AI, and say you go back and you get tested, or you haven't made it to the vet yet because of life in the way or reasons, or office not being open on your work schedule, and say you finally get in when you can, which now you're down to 2 options. Clock's ticking at this point. You run a test. Okay, all of a sudden it says they're at a 20. Your AI option of with doing it yourself is kind of out the window. If it's at a 20, your only option at that point is a TCI, and a TCI is done professionally, and only certain vets, do it. So you have to make sure that your vet does it, or somebody to reach out that can do it, that knows another vet in a different state or whatever. Number 20, your only option is a TCI. After that point, if you're past the 20 and you're hitting 21 to 22, it's surgical. That's your only option. After that, you're not going to have a litter of puppies. You're going to have to wait till your female goes back into heat. Your chances and options are gone. They're out the window because you didn't hit the time frame. So, like I said, on your first test, you get a rough estimate to see how she's climbing. If she is at a 5 at an early stage, then in 2 days you can start breeding. If you want to be more accurate, get a test after a level 5. Wait 2 days, do another test. She might be at like a 10. You can start your AI up to day 15. I mean, not day. AI until her level is up to 15. If you miss that window mark, and her numbers, if you get a test and it's at 19, 20, more 20 is when I say do a TCI. After a TCI, your only other options are surgical. Once you hit 21, especially 22 is a surgical time. It's when they do a small incision, they open it up, they put the semen directly into the through the uterus in the horns where the eggs are. From there, because that's what a TCI and a surgical is. TCI goes through the cervix. You can see it on when they do it. They have a camera. They put it through the cervix, so it doesn't have to go through the birth canal, through the cervix, through the horns, and to the eggs. It goes a lot closer, a lot less travel time, a lot less days on a TCI. Your chances are a higher success rating. Surgical, your chances are an extreme higher success rating. So really, it all depends on where you want to go on having a successful litter, and your breeding process and options and choices. You really technically only got 3. I would say 4, but like I said, American bullies nowadays, natural tying just doesn't happen. It's long gone ever since bullies got more bullier, and especially the shorter profile ones. Taller ones, you might have a better success rate, but I don't mess with the XLs and all that. You watch my videos. I'm all about taller micros, pockets, and shorter standards. So, God bless. Peace out. Until next time, I do want to drop. This is the puppies between Little Remy and Raga puppies. This is the mom, which is Mira, the dad, which is Raga, and then it's the grandparents, and then it's the great grandparents, and then I'll stop it at that. And then you know what, I'll even go back further. I won't do every dog throughout all the pedigrees, but there's some phenomenal bulls, great bloodlines, great dogs, and here it all is. It will play out for you. So, yeah. With that being said, these guys here, they're not even 6 weeks old. They don't even have their first vaccination shots. Ear cropping's not even scheduled yet. So these guys are not on the market yet. I don't even know who I'm keeping and not how phenomenal they came out. I do have one male off the Mir and Grimlock litter. It's what I have built and created over all the years. He is going out as a co-own, either for co-own price or a higher price to where I get a breed back one time to a female in my yard. So if you're interested in that opportunity on grabbing up the Mir and Grimlock blood, damn, these guys are big. So yeah, this is a female, this is a male. I'm just showing you the consistency and yeah, how we here at Burgle Bullies produce phenomenal females just as phenomenal as males. Normally you can get crazy males over females, but here it doesn't, that doesn't happen. We do phenomenal, males and females. So you can just see how thick they are and big. And like I said, we're going to be doing 6-week vaccinations coming up, and then ear cropping, and I'm in no rush. So don't reach out about these guys yet. If you are interested, save your money up. Wait till tax time. It's going to be later down the road until I end up having a few for sale out of this litter. This litter is Mir and Grimlock litter, 3rd generation of Burgle Bullies blood that I built, created, and made and bred to and out. Finally outcrossing and breaking up my bloodline. That's what this whole year's about. 2026, at the end of 2025, which, were these guys, and coming into the new year, my whole breeding plan this year is breaking up the Burgle Bullies bloodline. Still having Burgle Bullies bloodline in it, but outcrossing to outside studs and my studs from the Mir and Grimlock litter blood. So that male, like I said, that is a huge kickstart. If I end up doing, like I said, deciding if no one jumps on them and I end up keeping them, I'll wait and possibly give the opportunity down the road. I just know how phenomenal he's going to turn out. He's looking awesome, and he is, like I said, Grimlock son and son of Mira's. So these are little Remy and Raga puppies. So peace out. God bless. Till next time. And check out these little cuties. It's crazy. These guys are phenomenal. We're always dropping bangers here at Burgle Bullies. Always. Every litter, all the vision, all the timing, all the planning, building micro, pocket, and standard, getting phenomenal results. Like I knew I followed my heart, my dreams, and my goals in life, with breeding American Bullies, taking my own path, my own route, doing what back in the day a bunch of breeders and a bunch of people said couldn't be done. I knew it could be done. It's all about the pedigree. That's what it all boils and based down to. What's in the pedigree, what's close enough for me to pull. When people started mixing basically different classes back in the day to try to go on one path and one route of constantly producing just one class, we drop variety packs here. I do it for my opportunity of building and creating awesome, amazing bulls. I get some short standards, I get pockets, and I get some micros out of it. So just like this one, most of this is going to be micro and pocket, not so much standard, but standard blood is in there. So yeah, it's floating in these little guys. I love them. All right, peace out. God bless. Till next time, everybody. Like I said, phone number is 812-581-6569. Any questions, any info you want to know, any questions you have, how, I do my puppy drops on the first come, first serve. Basically, you got to have the money to lock it in. I pull it off the market. I say what state it's going to and name if you want your name advertised. If not, I just do state. It makes it easier. That's kind of how the puppies get their names. I start naming the state names to where they're going. It's easier for me to keep track, and also to advertise to everybody else when they're off the market and who's still available or not. Like I said, I'm in no rush at this point. The guys are still young. I'm letting them get big. I'm letting them grow. I always just show them for the work that we do and what we produce and we make here at Bullies, and keep everyone in tune, and just let you see the phenomenal journey and road that we do. Catch you on the flip side, everybody.